The wait is over! All you impatient people waiting on Stranger Things Season 4, definitely not me, just kidding, take my money, just don't take Steve Harrington. He better not get killed off this season. We finally have a release date for Stranger Things Season 4. Thank goodness, I thought we would be old before it finally came out, but it looks like it'll be here sooner than we expect with quite a shock. Not going to lie, the announcement took me by surprise, and these posters they released, oh my gosh. There is so many hidden details and Easter eggs in these posters. Should we talk about them now? Nah, let's talk about them later. Make sure you watch until the end of the video because they literally spell some stuff out for us. There's so much hidden in them, I might just have to make a separate video to talk about everything I found. But you know what? I actually took the liberty of editing these in case anyone wants to use them for a screensaver or a wallpaper. I posted it to my Twitter at @It'sMichaelJ. If you want to go over and check it out, I'm using them for my phone wallpaper and I figured someone else might want to use it too. I also made one for desktop. But there's so much to talk about in this video. The Duffer Brothers also released a note to the fans telling us their plans for the future of Stranger Things. And I gotta say, as an avid fan myself, I really appreciate a little communication and transparency. It's nice to feel like we're not totally left in the dark for once. But we're going to go over all of this in the video. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name's Michael. Go down and hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the next Stranger Things video coming out. They'll be dropping new trailers soon, and you're not going to want to miss the breakdowns and slow motion Easter egg videos because if you know Stranger Things, you know the Duffers love to hide tiny little hidden messages in everything. I am so excited for Season 4, and I know you are too. By subscribing, you're helping me and the channel, and it's totally free. When we hit 500,000 subs, we're going to be giving away little baby Demogorgons to all the tiny children and see who can grow the biggest Demogorgon. Whoever's still alive by the time Season 5 comes out wins. Now, first things first, the release date. May 27th, Stranger Things Season 4 will be dropping, but only half of it. Wait, what? Volume 1 drops May 27th and Volume 2 comes out 5 weeks later on July 1st. Yup, apparently they're splitting Season 4 up into 2 parts. Recently, we've seen a lot of shows revert to the old weekly episode schedule, and honestly, it kinda seems to be working. Look at Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Each week, everyone got so excited for each new episode, plus you've got 7 days to soak each one in and form theories and talk about it with your friends and other fans on the internet. And I know it's different, but I wouldn't mind if they ended up doing that with Stranger Things too. But I think too many people love and are looking forward to sitting down and binging all the episodes as soon as they come out. So breaking them up into 2 parts over the course of 5 weeks is kind of the middle ground they found, so we have time to talk about the first half of Season 4 and create theories and hype for the second half. And I know that'll make some people mad, but let me tell you why that's okay. If we take a look at the letter to the fans, it says, "Hi nerds, do you copy? It's been a little while." With 9 scripts, over 800 pages, almost 2 years of filming, thousands of visual effects shots, and a runtime nearly twice the length of any previous season. Stranger Things 4 was the most challenging season yet, but also the most rewarding. Everyone involved is incredibly proud of the results, and we can't wait to share it with you. I'm sorry, did you hear that? Stranger Things Season 4 is nearly twice the length of any previous season. Out of Season 1, 2, and 3, we can see that Season 2 was the longest with a total runtime of 7 hours and 44 minutes, which means Season 4 will be almost 15.5 hours long. That is the best news yet. This means 9 episodes between 15.5 hours would make each episode an average of 1 hour and 45 minutes each. Each episode will be its own full-length movie. That is insane. What a bold move. This is honestly the best thing they could have done. I'm so happy to hear this. This is almost going to force people to space it out when they watch it. Even if you go crazy and spend 3 hours each night binging, instead of it only taking 2 days to finish, it'll take 5. Next, they go on to say that this is the good news. It's coming soon, and it's bigger than ever. It's also the beginning of the end. 7 years ago, we planned out the complete story arc for Stranger Things, and at the time, we predicted the story would last 4 to 5 seasons. It proved too large to tell in 4, but as you'll soon see for yourselves, we are now hurtling toward our finale. Season 4 will be the penultimate season. Season 5 will be the last. We finally get confirmation that Season 5 will actually be the end of Stranger Things, but not entirely, and we'll get to that in a second. Just a friendly reminder, if you're enjoying the video, go down and punch that subscribe button. Each subscribe is 1 Eggo waffle for Elle in Season 4. Can you believe it? Season 5 will be the end of Stranger Things. For a while, I was worried they were going to string us along for too many seasons and milk it for all the money they could and ruin the story in doing so. But I'm so glad that that doesn't seem to be the case. Anything past 5 seasons, and I would say that's too much, end it while you're on a good note. The thing that piques my curiosity the most is if they're going to do the same strategy they're doing with Season 4 on Season 5. because if they didn't release 2 volumes that were 15.5 hours long, it would feel like a letdown, but honestly, if they're building up this season for the end next season, they almost have to make the next season 15 hours long too. This story has gone over 3 seasons so far, and we're almost halfway through the story. There's no way they can wrap it up in 8 short episodes for season 5. I really think that they're going to do the same thing and give us a super long season 5 as well. My only hope is that they do it sooner than later. It would really suck to wait another 3 years before we get the finale season. Just think, 2025 comes around and we finally get season 5 of Stranger Things. That's just too long. It's already been long enough, and the only reason I can't complain anymore is because they're basically giving us 2 seasons worth of content this summer. They did their very best to make the long wait worth it, and there's a good chance that there will be a little more cohesion and continuity between season 4 and 5, since the end of 4 is supposedly heavily setting up the beginning of the end of the show, and season 5 will just literally be the story of the end of the series. They're going to need the whole season to set up the end and finish this story. And don't forget, if Steve dies, we riot. But next, this is the interesting part of the letter. And there are still many more exciting stories to tell within the world of Stranger Things. New mysteries, new adventures, new unexpected heroes. But first, we hope that you stay with us as we finish this tale of a powerful girl named Elle and her boyfriend, of a broken police chief and a ferocious mom, of a small town called Hawkins with an alternate dimension known only as Upside Down. As always, we are grateful for your patience and support. Over and out, Matt and Ross. This is crazy. If I read that right, that means they're going to be telling more stories within the world once they finish the Stranger Things story with season 5. This means that we're getting Stranger Things spin-off shows. Who would have thought? This story is so intriguing and polarizing. Right now, I can't imagine what other stories would be this entertaining to watch. But what do you think? Tell me in the comments what spin-off shows would be cool to see in the Stranger Things universe, and I'll make a video on the best answers. Would you want to see a mini-series following number 8, Callie and the other misfits and how they got to be where they are now? What about a young Hopper series? I think honestly that might be my favorite. They could do a show surrounding his time as a New York police detective, or even about his time in Vietnam. We could even learn the backstory of his daughter Sarah and his wife before they get divorced. Or what if we got a show surrounding Brenner in the start of MK Ultra with Terry Ives, or when it was first started in Vietnam and then it came to the States to experiment on newborns? It would be so cool to see all the failed tests and the first subjects get their powers for the first time. I think it would be a little difficult to do that though, because Brenner is such an antagonist in the series, and it would be hard to give him the spotlight without trying to turn him in some sort of a good guy or a hero in some light. That would just defeat his portrayal in the actual show. Maybe we can get a series on the Creel house and the curse or the murder surrounding that. I don't know. These are all pretty good ideas, I think. If you have any more, please tell me in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you guys can come up with for spin-off shows. David Harbour has been teasing huge payoffs with Hopper's backstory, a lot of him talking about how they've alluded to so many different details about his past that have all been leading up to this season. This is when we're going to get to know so much about his character. We're going to get a look at his time in Vietnam, which, by the way, is where MK Ultra started. I'm curious if they're going to have a link to that. We're also going to get a look at his father, which played an important part of his history in the show. And also, we're finally going to get a look at his time spent in New York. We got a tiny look into the window of his time as an undercover New York police detective in one of the Stranger Things books, and I really hope that if we get a spin-off show, maybe they can do a young Jim Hopper show. I feel like this character has so much potential, and while I'm sure they'll do it justice this season moving forward, I think there's a lot of stories to tell from his past. And I don't know if you got a good look at this, but when they made the announcement, they released 4 separate teaser posters. Keep in mind, everything we've seen up until this point are teaser trailers along with teaser posters. Soon they will be releasing the actual trailers and posters, which I can only imagine how good they're going to be, considering everything we've seen so far is already amazing. I only hope that they don't leak too much before the show airs, so we're still in the dark on a lot of the big things. Surprisingly enough, the biggest details they released have been hidden in the titles of the episodes. But like I was saying, there were at least 4 different posters, one for each of the teasers they released. Number 1, Hopper in Russia. This trailer was the first sign of hope that we had that Hopper was truly alive after his death in season 3, and we also get a look at a completely new location for the Stranger Things universe, Russia, the Iceland. And even crazier, we get to see a white Demogorgon is going to be there at the same time as him. And the poster for this just looks insane. We get to see a close-up shot of Joyce and Murray reunited with Hopper in Russia. How they got there, I have no idea. I'm curious if Murray's gonna fly them or he's gonna have a buddy that can take them. In fact, where are the kids at? Do you think Joyce even told them she was leaving, or do you think she just made an excuse and dipped so they didn't try to come along? I mean, they've been in enough dangerous situations already. No need to bring them to Russia where there's Demogorgons, flamethrowers, and you guessed it, Russians. If you look closely, you can actually see a dead Demogorgon in the snow off to the side. I am so curious if this is the one that we saw in the post-credit scene from season 3. I want to know. Next, teaser number 2, and possibly the one I'm looking forward to the most, the lab. Yup, back at the MK Ultra stomping grounds. In this, we see Eleven by herself, current day, walking through the halls of what used to be Hawkins' lab, the place that she was abducted and raised throughout her childhood while big scary men ran tests on her every day. I am so excited to see a flashback of the massacre at Hawkins, seeing the breakout and what will eventually lead right into the beginning of season 1. As you can see, there's been quite the fight here. You can even see a younger pre-season 1 Eleven looking back at herself in the reflection of a broken mirror. So much excitement from this poster. Number 3, the Creel House. Probably one of the scariest horror parts of the show this season will have. I absolutely cannot wait to see the new gang go full Scooby-Doo mode to solve the mystery. Everything in this scene leads to the grandfather clock, and I'm sure this has some sort of significance to the portal and the upside down. Only time will tell. See what I did there? Time. If you look closely in the back right hand side, you can actually see an old wheelchair that no doubt Old Man Creel has been using. There's just so many tiny little details. I definitely need to do a whole video on everything just because there's not enough time to cover it here. Next is poster number 4, California. I hate to say that I'm so excited about each of these, but I really am, and it's going to be so cool to see the kids, more specifically the Byers, in a new environment with new friends and new peers to go on adventures with. This is going to be a huge change of pace. We've got 4 very different storylines that will eventually all lead to the same point through the same portal. If you look in the bottom right, you can see there's Will's old bike, definitely a head nod to season 1 when he went missing. I'm going to make a full video breakdown on all the tiny little details in these posters. There's a lot of stuff that I just didn't have time to talk about, so subscribe and turn post notifications on so you don't miss that video. It should come out in a few days. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're most excited for in this season, and until next time, I will see you in the comments. Peace.